So hello everyone. In this video we will talk about the estimation of sodium benzoate. Okay, so this compound sodium benzoate, its estimation comes under the topic of non-aqueous titrations. So we have already discussed non-aqueous titrations. So now let us begin with this. So the molecular formula for sodium benzoate is this C7H5NaO2, and this is the molecular structure for it. So before beginning the estimation, now let us see a few points of this compound to better understand the estimation process. Okay, so firstly, the sodium benzoate, which is our sample, it is a weak base, and because it is a weak base, it cannot be determined by normal acid base titrations, because the weak acids and weak bases, they give poor endpoint when they are titrated with acid base titration. Okay, so that is why we use non-aqueous titrations. So this sample, which is our sodium benzoate, it is determined by non-aqueous titrations. Now these are those titrations in which solvents other than water are used, such as chloroform, benzene and toluene. Okay, so this topic non-aqueous titration we have already covered in a separate video, uh, like why we use this and what are the advantages and disadvantages. And this topic acid base titration also we have covered. So basically what we are saying is that our sample, which is sodium benzoate, it is a weak base, and that is why it will not be determined by acid base titration. It will be determined by non-aqueous titrations in which solvents other than water are used. Okay, this is the basic of it. Now up to here we are clear that for the estimation of sodium benzoate we will use non-aqueous titration. Now non-aqueous titration are also further of two types, acidimetry and alkalimetry. We have talked about both of them in separate video. So acidimetry was which is used for the estimation of basic drugs, and alkalimetry is which is used for the estimation of acidic drugs. Okay, so from here we know, here in the very first point we said that our sample sodium benzoate is a weak base. Okay, so weak base means it is basic, and basic drugs will be determined by acidimetry. Okay, so in this estimation we will use acidimetry and we will not use alkalimetry. Okay, so I hope up to here it is clear to you. So now in acidimetry we have already talked about this, but we will talk about it again, that in acidimetry the titrant which we use is of acidic nature, example perchloric acid, and the solvent which we used is of protogenic nature. Protogenic means which can easily donate the protons, for example glacial acetic acid. Okay, so this is the titrant, which is perchloric acid, and this is the solvent, which is the glacial acetic acid. We must remember them because these are the ones which we'll be using in this estimation and also in the next estimation, which is of ephedrine hydrochloride. Okay, so now let us begin with the estimation of sodium benzoate. So the estimation of sodium benzoate, it basically involves three steps. Okay, so the very first step is the preparation of 0.1 normal perchloric acid. Perchloric acid is our titrant. So second step is the standardization of 0.1 normal perchloric acid. Okay, the perchloric acid which we will prepare in first step, in the next step we will standardize it, and the final step is the estimation of sodium benzoate by using perchloric acid, which we have prepared in our step 2 and step 1. Okay, so now let us begin with the step 1, which is the preparation of 0.1 normal perchloric acid. Okay, so here what we are doing is that what we will do, we will take 900 ml of glacial acetic acid along with 8.5 ml of perchloric acid, and then we will stir the mixture continuously, and then we will add 30 ml of acetic anhydride and again stir, and then we will finally make up the volume up to 1000 ml by using glacial acetic acid. Okay, so if you have watched other videos of mine in which we have talked about the preparations and the standardizations, you must have noticed that over there we were dissolving our sample in water, and then we were making the volume makeup by using distilled water. Okay, but over here we are using glacial acetic acid, and also the volume makeup we are doing by glacial acetic acid. Okay, so it clearly means that water in these titrations will not be used, because these are non-aqueous titrations in which the solvent other than water are used. Okay, that is the main purpose of non-aqueous titration. So that is why we are using glacial acetic acid as our solvent instead of water. So after performing these steps, we will allow the mixture to stand for 24 hours, and here I have written that the acetic anhydride which we are using, it is used to remove the excess water content, because this is non-aqueous titration. In this we do not require water. Okay, so in the first step what we have done, we have prepared 0.1 normal solution of perchloric acid, which is our titrant. Okay, this is our titrant with which we will titrate our sample. And in the step 2 what we will do, we will standardize our titrant, which is Step 2 involves the standardization of 0.1 normal perchloric acid. So what we will do, here 0.1 normal perchloric acid is standardized by titrating it against 0.1 normal solution of potassium hydrogen phthalate. So this is the basic principle. Here I have written the chemical reaction for this step. So here this is potassium hydrogen phthalate. It reacts with perchloric acid to form phthalic acid along with potassium perchlorate. This is the general reaction. Okay, so now let us see the methodology for this step. So here what is happening, methodology, we will take 0.35 grams of KHP, which is potassium hydrogen phthalate, along with 25 ml of anhydrous glacial acetic acid, and then we will add few drops of crystal violet indicator. So what we are doing, we are taking a conical flask. In that we will take our potassium hydrogen phthalate of the required amount along with glacial acetic acid and our indicator, and then what we will do, we will titrate this solution with 0.1 normal perchloric acid, which we have prepared in our step 1. Okay, in the step 1 which we have prepared, we will titrate. So in the burette we are taking perchloric acid solution, and in the conical flask we are taking all these things, and then we will begin the titration up to the end point is reached, and that end point is determined by the change in color, which is violet to green. This is our end point. So what we will do, now we will calculate the actual normality. So the actual normality is calculated by the formula N1 V1 is equals to N2 V2. Here N1 is the normality of perchloric acid, V1 is the burette reading, N2 is the normality of potassium hydrogen phthalate, which is 0.1 normal, because in the step 2 what we have done, the potassium hydrogen phthalate which we have used, we have taken it of 0.1 normal. Okay, so it was already standardized, so that is why we know its strength, which is 0.1, and V2 is the volume in the flask. Okay, so by performing these calculations we can finally calculate N1. N1 is the normality of our potassium hydrogen phthalate. So after knowing the value of N1, we will say that our potassium hydrogen phthalate solution has been standardized. Okay, so now let us begin to the step 3, which is the estimation of sodium benzoate. This is our most important step. So now let us read out the principle. So this sodium benzoate is a base, and it is dissolved in glacial acetic acid, which is our solvent in our non-aqueous titrations. So during the titration with strong acid, acetic acid behave like a base. An accurate endpoint is determined by using 1-naphthol benzene solution as indicator. Okay, so what is happening? We will do the methodology and then you will understand. So what we are doing here, this is the methodology. So what we will weigh accurately about 0.25 gram of sodium benzoate and transfer it in a conical flask. Okay, and then we will do and then we will add 20 ml of anhydrous glacial acetic acid and stir the solution properly. Okay, so this is our conical flask. We have taken sodium benzoate and we have taken glacial acetic acid, which is our solvent, along with our indicator. So we will warm the solution if necessary, and then we will add 2 to 3 drops of our indicator, which is 1-naphthol benzene, and then we will titrate with 0.1 normal perchloric acid solution until the endpoint is reached. Okay, this is the basic methodology for carrying out this process. So what we have done, let me just erase this. So we have taken a conical flask, and in the conical flask we have taken sodium benzoate and then glacial acetic acid. We have dissolved our sample sodium benzoate in our solvent glacial acetic acid, and if it is not dissolving, then we will warm the solution, and then we will add 2 to 3 drops of our indicator, and after that we will begin the titration until the endpoint is reached. Okay, so now in estimation what we are doing exactly, that we have to calculate the percentage purity of our sample. Okay, percentage purity means how much amount of sample is being present. Okay, so the formula for calculating the percentage purity is this: percentage purity of sodium benzoate is equals to V into E into An into 100 upon W into Rn. Okay, so V here stands for the volume of perchloric acid used, which we can calculate from the burette reading. Okay, in the burette, this is our burette, we have taken a perchloric acid here. So from the readings we can calculate how much amount of perchloric acid has been used. Okay, so E is the equivalent factor of sample. This we will see how to calculate in a few minutes. An is the actual normality of perchloric acid solution, which is N1. This N1 we have already calculated in our previous step. Okay, I will show that to you again. In the step 2 what we have done, we have calculated our N1. Okay, this is the actual normality of perchloric acid, and then Rn is the required normality of perchloric acid. Required means how much normality we want, and we wanted 0.1. Okay, this is the required normality, and W is the weight of the sample, which is sodium benzoate, which we can calculate. Okay, so now the main thing over here is the E, which is the equivalent factor. Because rest all values are simple, we can easily calculate. This E is the value which we need to understand how we have to do that. And if you have watched my videos where we have done the preparations as well as the standardizations of different compounds, there also have explained and how do we calculate this. Here also I will again explain this concept. So what do we do? Equivalent factor is the number of grams of sample that will react with each ml of titrant. Okay, so here our sample is sodium benzoate and titrant is perchloric acid. Okay, so here what we are saying is that the grams of sodium benzoate that will react with 1 ml of perchloric acid is the equivalent factor of our sodium benzoate. Okay, so I hope this definition is clear to you. So now we will calculate the equivalent factor of sodium benzoate. So what we will do, whenever we have to calculate the equivalent factor, we will see firstly the molecular weight. So the molecular weight for sodium benzoate, I have already found it out. So it was molecular weight of sodium benzoate is equals to 144.1 gram per mole. Okay, so this means that 1000 ml of one normal solution of sodium benzoate is having 144.1 gram of sodium benzoate. Okay, so instead of 1000 ml, if we want 1 ml solution, so we will divide this value by 1000 and the value will be this. Okay, so instead of 1 normal, if we want 0.1 normal solution, then again we will divide this value by 10. Okay, then the value will be this. It means that 1 ml of 0.1 normal solution of sodium benzoate is having 0.01441 gram of sodium benzoate. Okay, so 1 ml of 0.1 normal perchloric acid will react with 1 ml of 0.1 normal sodium benzoate, and 1 ml of 0.1 normal sodium benzoate is having these many grams of sodium benzoate, which I have written over here, which means that these many grams of sodium benzoate will react with 1 ml of 0.1 normal perchloric acid. Therefore this is the equivalent factor of sodium benzoate. Okay, so the equivalent factor of sodium benzoate for 0.1 normal perchloric acid is this. So this is our equivalent factor of sodium benzoate for 0.1 normal perchloric acid, and then we will put this value in our this formula along with the rest of the values, and we can finally calculate the percentage purity of sodium benzoate, and our compound will be estimated. Okay, so I hope this video is clear to you, this topic is clear to you. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.